Welcome to this episode of Video Drone by DIY3DTech.com. We're back out here on Lake Huron. We've got a tug coming up river into the lake. So I'm going to get this up and fly on it. I've already checked the air map. I'm good to go. Did my maintenance checks. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this up in the air, do a precision takeoff, and just kind of let it sit in a little bit. And we got recording going. And so I'm going to go ahead and take it up and out a little bit. Beautiful views of the lake. Have the circular polarizer filter on there. And as I'm taking it up, I want to take it up and out. I want to get it out a little bit further. I want to get it up a little bit higher. And then I want to spin it around. And see, the ship should be coming into view. There it is. So it does have a, make sure I get the focus set on it. So I want to get this, I want to take this up a little bit more. So we got to come in the frame. I might try a little active track again on this stand as it passes the bridge and gets down into view. So while we're waiting, let's do a little zoom in. So we got a 2x zoom on this. So it's definitely coming in. Let's just make sure we get another focus on it. So, really nice view of this coming in at 2x. And so, this is the Clyde V Vander something or another. So this, I believe it's a tug-barge combination if the maritime map is correct. Maritime, the map is correct, or app. So I've got this interesting app that allows me to track ships actually all over the world and from their transponders, and really works handy because come out here, can see where the ships are, you know, and get out here just in time, kind of catch them, understand what they are. It's got all kinds of information about it. It's a really cool app. So if you're interested in ships, I think I'll see if I can't put a link down below. So it's I use it on my Apple iPhone. I'm not sure if there's an Android version or not. And as you see, we're just coming up in here in the range with this guy. Just kind of, we got done paper off to, as you're looking at the screen, our right. And we're zoomed a little bit past the Coast Guard base. Again, I'm at 2x zoom, so I'm actually sitting out there not too far, only a few hundred feet actually offshore, you know, in there. So again, I just kind of want to catch this guy as he's coming up, and really nice views as it's kind of setting in as she's flying past, just kind of starting to come into sight now of the ship that is where I'm standing, because it's a little bit, my view's kind of cut off a bit with the lighthouse and some trees, what's coming up. So it's starting to come into view a little bit. And yeah, I think, I'm not sure, maybe somebody that's a little bit more familiar with maritime operations, if I spit that out correctly, sort of like the Midwesterner pop versus soda thing. These barges for a while seem to become a popular thing, you know, the barge tug combination. So I think the way it works is, again, they you know, the tug pushes the barge and it decouples, drops it off, decouples, the barge unloads, another one comes, picks it up, and then that way, so the crew is actually working more of the time rather than spending time in dock. With a lot of the other ones, like we've flown on, you know, when they come into dock or port, you know, they have to, you know, lay up for a day or two as their cargo unloads, or the cargo gets loaded, you know. So here they kind of drop it off, go get another one, sort of like a tractor trailer theory in the trucking world. And I'm pretty sure that's what this guy is. So he's coming in sight. I'm seeing the front of the boat now. And So I'm just kind of going to pivot this. And as I pivot, I'm going to pull away, because as I pivot this, so what I'm going to do, Stan, is I'm going to drop it down. I'm going to drop it down to 1. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go back to active track mode. So I'm going to go back to active track. And then I'm just going to pick a portion of the subject out of range. Now it wants to select the whole subject. And let's see if it... No, it's not tracking it, Stan. I tried just doing a portion of the ship, and it keeps saying out of range. I don't know, it's giving me some weird... It's actually giving me like a boat icon, which is really strange. So it's trying to track the front of the boat, which is precluding me from getting the rest of the boat in. Let's see if I can... Okay, it attempts to be... okay, it still says it's out of range, but I'm gonna turn it into spotlight mode and see what happens. So I'm now trying to track an object or an attribute on the middle of the ship and see if it works. And I think it is, even though it complained. And I want to back it up a little bit, see if I can. Oh, now it's complaining my SD card is full. Cannot continue recording. Bummer, but it does seem to be tracking, so I might have to cut over to the video produced by the screen. So my SD card's full. I gotta get a bigger SD card. So active track, I don't know, sort of seems to be working. So as you can kind of see, it does seem to be holding that portion of the ship that I told it to. So, but it's kind of interesting, you know, it has this little boat icon next to it. Hi, Bob. So the barge is the Erie Trader. I think that's what it says, Erie Trader, yeah. And again, you can kind of see it plying in there with all the other boats. So, boy, that's a bummer, man, on the memory card. I didn't think it would fill up that fast. I guess I'm going to have to get a bigger memory card. So it still seems to be locking in on the ship, even though it's sort of pulling away out there. So I'm going to see what happens, and I'm going to see if it comes into an error state. It still seems to be keeping it. So I guess it sort of works, Dan, if you pick a portion of the ship. I just think the whole ship is just, I guess, too big, unless it's way out there so it's a small object. But I think it's just too much of the screen or something. But it's interesting. Does it know it's a boat because of that icon? I've never seen that icon before. If you guys have seen that icon before, let me know what the heck that icon is. Interesting. I think it's still tracking, so it hasn't given me any errors yet. I want to do a focus as it's getting out there a ways. But you can see the buoys in the corner. So I guess I'm not sure if it's still yeah, the things just moved, so it's still tracking in on that center structure on the ship. And you notice the parens or brackets are started to shake there for a second. I think it's getting where it's getting too small to resolve. And so let's see what happens if I zoom in. Let's get a zoom on this. So it even seems to be working in zoom mode. Now, the brackets have increased in size in zoom mode. I'm going to have to play around with this a little bit more. Yeah, I guess it sort of works. What I'm going to do, I want to see if I can't also set it up to track. I think there's, because I have as you can see off to the side, I've got spotlight, profile, and trace. I'd like to get one where I get kind of at a 45-degree angle to the front of it as the ship's coming up, highlight it, and have it keep pushing the copter back as the ship moves forward, just kind of maintaining its distance. And you can kind of see that we're kind of moving up. And I still have the boat icon next to it, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of stop this. And you can kind of see the wake lines. We're getting a little bit more vivid image of this. And you can see all the fishing boats out there, and it's just kind of sitting in. So it's kicked itself out, so I don't know if that video, the footage will be saved in the cache space of your mobile device. Go to the editor, check your shooting resolution, match supported. Okay, I guess. So apparently, I just want to kind of stop that, see if... Interesting, also on the controller, it's the first time I've seen this. This is the first time I've really hit a card full situation on the Mavic. So I thought I deleted the others, because usually I can get 3 good flights out of this, but I did, and the last flight was pretty long. Now I'm only doing 2.7K, so I thought I would have some room on this. I am shooting with the polarizing filter, and again, look at those views out there. And again, I'm not out there that far nor that high, so but I am at a 2x zoom here. I think I'm at a 2x zoom, yeah. So if I back out my zoom, you can see this guy is actually pulled quite a ways away. Also, kind of look at the shapes of the water. That's one of the things, you know, some of the contours. There's an interesting shape in the water. Let's see. I'll see if I can't put an arrow to it that kind of loops back in. Must be a sandbar or something like that. So, anyways, the Clyde V something is getting out there a little bit. So, tell you what, let's just bring this guy home, and boom, we'll bring her home. Aircraft is returning to home, and like I say, we're not far, so I can actually even hear it. And we're bringing it down. Thankful for screen recording. At least we salvaged something, and we learned a little bit. So active track will sort of work if you pick a smaller portion of the larger object. And even though it complains, it did seem to track it. So that was a good thing. And we're spinning it around. And we're gonna bring it down. So I had a few good flights of the Mavic Pro today, which is great. Always good to get out here, get flying. The weather's nice. It's kind of good to be out here and not sub-zero, freezing my fingers off cold. I'm gonna step back a little bit. Let's gimbal down, and we can see the landing pad. And I'm going to actually not slide to land, but actually land it myself. There we go. Perfect. We're on there. Let's gimbal up the... Oops, we got to gimbal this way. Gimbal it up. There we go. Another beautiful flight of the Mavic Lake Huron. beautiful Saturday morning out here. Couldn't ask for a better flying day. Nice calm conditions. And hey, tell you what, let me know what you're thinking about for lunch. I don't know what it's going to be. More than likely a bologna sandwich. I think I might have some turkey left. And if that's the case, that's what it's going to be. So we'll catch you in the next video when we go flying again. Cheers.